Welcome to Vermonters in Business, where we highlight some of the very best business leaders in our state and the amazing things they're doing in their communities. People of Vermont, welcome to Vermonters in Business, where our mission is to highlight the businesses and business leaders in our state that are doing amazing work in both their careers and their communities. We've got a great show today. I am your co-host, Drew Kinney. I'm a seventh-generation Vermonter and a business owner in the state. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Travis Spencer. He is a serial entrepreneur, a local business enthusiast, and around here we know him as a world-class insurance agent. King of the hot take, Travis, what do you got for us today?
We got a great guest. I'm looking forward to learning about another topic that I really don't know much about, so that's always fun, and to expand my knowledge. So my hot take today is not really a hot take, but just kind of like a general, as a parent with 2 adult children and a great guest who's going to tell us about some great summer programs.
Yeah.
Just encouraging parents to get your kids into things that you might not think they like, or maybe they even don't like them.
But stick it out.
But stick it out,
Yeah.
and just understanding that this doesn't necessarily have to be their career path. But I know my kids learned a lot by going to different types of summer camps, and building up that confidence and getting them out of their comfort zone is a great thing. So hopefully we'll learn a lot from our guests, and people will take that initiative to push their kids into doing some different stuff.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Well, joining us today, Travis, is Molly Mitchell from the Stowe Children's Theater. Molly, how are you doing today?
I'm great.
It's your first podcast?
First podcast.
Okay, well, we're a good one to go on. We'll take it easy. We're going to it's going to start a little hot, but then we'll transition to what you know best, which is the Stowe Children's Theater. But
Great.
First, I got to ask, you're originally from Idaho.
I was hoping that was going to come up.
Can you tell us about your journey to landing in Vermont?
I can absolutely tell you. Yes. So, born and raised in Pocatello, Idaho.
Yeah.
And I'm one of 7 kiddos.
Okay.
I come from a high demand religious culture, known as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, more commonly known as Mormons. So I got really involved in theater in high school.
Okay.
And that really was my dream and my path. Got accepted to a few actor training programs, and quickly found out I would not have the support of my family to pursue that path.
Oh, no.
So another interest of mine was veterinary nursing. Mm-hmm. So I decided to pursue that after high school, even though that theater was like my jam.
Yeah.
So I went to veterinary nursing school, and after that determined to put myself back through some sort of actor training program. And then when I moved to Boise, I met my now husband, and we got married, and I started to support him. Okay. So his educational journey while we started our family led him to optometry, which led us to Forest Grove, Oregon, where he got his optometric degree. Yeah. Again, we continued to expand our family. By the time he graduated, we had 3 children, and we wanted to know where we could get a job. So we saw a post on an optometric forum for a job in Stowe, Vermont. Wow. And our then kindergartner was just our oldest. He's 22 now. We turned to him and said, "What do you think about Friday program?" Yeah. And learning how to snowboard, part of first grade. And he was like, "I'm in, Mom and Dad, I want in." So we packed up, we took the job and landed in Stowe. And that's how we ended up in Vermont.
Man, all the way from Oregon to Stowe. You didn't even you went the wrong way and then came all the way.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a big leap. And
so are they good snowboarders then? Or?
They're actually really good snowboarders.
Good. Mission accomplished.
One of our little claim to fame is I met one of the Von Trapp family members when my neighbor was like, "This girl needs a polk." Do you guys know what a polk is? It's a stroller with skis.
Oh, yeah.
She needs a polk for all these kids she's having. Yeah. So I bought it from her, from Christina Frame, who's a direct descendant of the Von Trapp family. And I was like, "This is so cool, and she's so nice. Thank you so much." And took our kids to go watch Miles snowboard at a lesson, and found out he was being taught by Donna Carpenter that day, a Friday program. Okay, nice. And I was like, what is happening? I took a photo of them too, and I came home and I was like, oh wait, this is Donna Carpenter. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so
Very cool.
Very nice.
All right. Well, every guest that we have on the show, we drop them into what we call the Vermont hot seat. So we ask you some questions to give everybody a feel for kind of who you are as a Vermonter. So Molly, are you ready for the Vermonter hot seat?
Let's go.
All right. Up first, pancakes or waffles? What are you having with your Vermont maple syrup?
Waffles.
All right. I like it. That 50-50 today, Travis.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll keep it tally.
A perfect day for you. Is it a winter day at the mountain or a summer day at the lake?
Summer day at the lake.
Okay.
All
I
day
kind of
long.
thought, mountain would happen since you're in Stowe, but
Yeah.
all right. I get it. Especially this time of year. It's really hard to combat the, all of us want to be at the lake right now, I think.
We need some sun.
Yeah.
We need some vitamin D. Yeah.
It is your birthday dinner. You can go anywhere in the state. Where are you headed?
I'm going to a local spot in Stowe called Harrison's.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've been.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible food there. Yeah.
And then what is your creamy order and from where?
Oh, great. Good call. Let's see. I've got a couple. There's a great little creamy stand when they're open. It's in Morrisville near the airport. Again, I can't remember their name, but they drizzle fresh maple syrup
Nice.
on top of their creamy, so I'm going there.
Oh, nice.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Morrisville Airport was a tough reference, though. I was running.
I know. I was going.
Do you guys know
I was
what
going.
I'm
I was going through the
Have
map.
you
and I'm
driven
like,
on
where
that
is
Route
it?
100 and
Yeah.
seen that little creamy stand? Okay,
Yeah.
it's not open often, but when it is, yank that steering wheel into that
All
parking
right.
lot, get you a
I was
creamy.
trying to drive through the downtown there, figuring this
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Oh, I like it. Well, you survived the Vermont hot seat. It wasn't too challenging. But next up, Travis, let's dive into all things Stowe Children's Theater.
Yeah, we'll start with the easy one. Just tell us who and what the Stowe Children's Theater is.
Great. Stowe Children's Theater is an organization I founded around 2014, 2015, after having one of those don't think of it much at the time, but was like a really transformative conversation with another mom. This mom happened to run the PTO organization and was really instrumental in getting some great programming at our local library. And I was like, you know what? I bet I could offer some some drama games or something theater based. And she was like, that would be amazing. So I worked up my courage and I approached the youth librarian at the time. And she said, we would love to have theater at our library. So once a month I started offering a free after school drama game program.
Yep.
And through the course of 4 or 5 months, I had a really consistent following of more than 10 kiddos.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, and we were just playing drama games. We weren't putting on a play. We weren't
Yeah.
making costumes. We were just reading stories. Every afternoon together, we'd have a snack. We'd read a story or 2 or 3, and then we'd play games to that theme. I remember one day we read My Many Colored Days by Dr. Seuss. It was one of the books that was published after he passed away, and it's a beautiful story about how colors make you feel. And so we explored what movement looks like, and how do you move when you're orange, and how do you move when you're purple, and
Okay.
yeah, so it
Yes.
was really fun. And like I said, 2015, by the end of that year, we had a little bit of a following. So I called my aunt up and I said, hey, you remember how you said you'd help me put on a theater camp? I think I have a little bit of a following. Would you actually fly out from Idaho and choreograph the camp? And she was like, 100%. So I put together a creative team,
Nice.
and we put together a week-long cabaret camp. So we pulled some songs from Broadway tunes we really loved. I think we did 6 total that first year. And our goal was 10 kids. Like I said, we'd had about 10 kids kind of doing this. And at the time, I realized something really key, too, that there wasn't anything like that being offered in Stowe. There was a lot being offered outside of Stowe in terms of Burlington,
Right.
a lot of little theater companies offering instruction for kids, but nothing in Stowe. And so I thought, I think I'm onto something here.
Yeah.
And sure enough, our first year, we got 22 kids to enroll and had
Nice.
to turn some kids away. We did start in the basement of our home.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to secure the Stowe Elementary School gym for the entire week, so we started choreographing in our basement and then moved to the gym later that week. And we continued offering cabaret style camps until 2018, and then I experienced some health problems and took a little bit of a break, and then the pandemic hit. And the whole time while taking a break, I couldn't stop thinking about this theater company and what we'd accomplished together, because the camp evolved. So while we did just offer, a performing side our first year, we started to offer more production-based tracks as well. So the performers would arrive, and then our production students would arrive. Mm-hmm. And they would learn lighting and sound with our technical director. They would learn, set building and painting and stage crew. And it was really wonderful to see that opportunity be taken advantage of from really talented kids.
Right.
And so after taking that break, I was like, let's get back at it. So we offered another cabaret style camp with Hamilton as our theme. Nice. And that was really, really fun in 2021. Yep. After leaving that camp, I couldn't stop thinking about my education and how I wanted to do this full time.
Yeah.
And so I endeavored to go back to school. Mm-hmm. So I finished my bachelor's degree, and then I went on to graduate school to get a master's of education with a theater arts endorsement. And I just graduated in December. So
nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank
congrats.
you.
That's awesome.
And through that educational journey, we started offering camps again in 2024. This time, we rolled out a few other offerings. Mm-hmm. We rolled out with the partnership of Kat and Dave Gabry a stage management camp. So stage managers are really integral to a successful production. They help keep the actors in line. They help keep the creative team in line. They know all the blocking for the show. They know what's supposed to happen with lighting and when, and they are like the conductor of a production. Yep. And so Kat Gabry had gone to Juilliard with stage management, and I thought, if she's coming on to our creative team to be our stage manager, I want her to teach this art. So we offer 3 spots every year now, with her at the helm, and then we offered more production, and we also added a costume design camp.
Oh, wow.
Very cool.
So that year, Seussical was really, really special, really fun. Enrollment was really low because, again, I'd taken a break and we were dusting this company back off. Mm-hmm. And the following year, we got really brave and we decided, you know what? Let's offer an elementary school camp and let's offer a middle and high school camp.
Okay. And
so we went from like 10 performing students to between production and both performing camps, we had over 60 children enrolled.
Wow.
For costume design for both camps, for stage management for both camps, for production, and again for performing.
In the year prior, what was the age groups?
Age group was elementary, so it was grades 3 through high school. Okay. So we had like rising freshmen with third graders. Yeah. And if you know Seussical, you know that it's a bigger show, even the junior version. Mm-hmm. So it was a big lift for 10 students, and they were phenomenal.
That's
they
awesome.
Did a great job.
Yeah. And how many camps do you put on through the summer?
We put on a total of, I believe it's 4 camps per title.
Okay.
So we have a stage management, production, performing, and costume design. Costume design, we put on like the week before camp starts, so that the costumes are completed as we roll into camp. And then that is possible because we have auditions before camp starts. So we hand kids the script and we say, after auditions, here's your part. We want to see you not holding the script in your hand when you arrive on day 1.
Yeah.
And that's been really key to our success as well. So because we cast it, we know who's going to play what, and we can properly costume them.
Okay. And so you really break it out then, in the sense you have a camp for the front of the house and the back house, if you will.
100%.
So it's not, you're going to camp to learn all the dynamics of what goes on. You really are specialized in, I'm an actor, I'm set design, I'm costume.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. So our production camp is more of a conglomeration than our other camps.
Yep.
To be honest, because the production kids roll in. The performance camp is 2 weeks, and production kids roll in the second week. But they will learn. They have to build and paint our sets in 2 days because we start running the show Wednesday of the second week. Everything has to be done, like painted, ready to go, built, and that because we're running it. All the actors have to be able to work with the sets at that point, and they do a lot in 2 days. Actually.
So how many shows did they put on?
It depends on the age group. Okay. For our elementary and middle school this year, they'll do 2 performances, and for our high school camp this year, they'll do 3.
Nice. Yeah. So I'm trying to just put all the timeline together. So how long is the camp? So obviously it's specific to the role, but how long do the camps normally?
Yeah, the camp, it depends on, so the costume design camp is 1 week.
Okay.
And that's again before the performance camp starts.
Yeah.
The performance camp is 2 weeks long. The stage management camp joins the same time as the performers. So they learn how to take blocking notes.
Got it.
As I block scenes, they support the choreographer, and they work, with the stage manager to learn all of those things. And really to learn what the art of overseeing and becoming the conductor of the production looks like. Yeah, so we finish within that 2 week our performances.
Got it.
We're not like a community theater where we have like a long run through the summer.
Right.
Once we get it up and running, we perform a handful of times and then we say goodbye.
And you're not doing multiple at one time. You're doing like one and then going to the next one.
No.
Okay.
No, not yet. I mean, I sort of think we could if I were to hire the director piece out, and we could look to that. Yeah.
Interesting. And so do you do something outside of the summer months, or is it just strictly for summer?
That's a great question. So we did start offering after-school programming this fall. We did we did 2 different acting sessions. One was on Mondays, one was on Wednesdays, and that was really fun. And then come January, we offered a costume design and acting class where students could pick a monologue that was based on a show or a character and design a costume around it and learn to make it and then perform that monologue in their costume they made. Yeah. And then we did a hair and makeup design class, which was similar to that. So they chose a character and they worked on some foundational hair and makeup skills and then would perform the monologue at the end.
And who determines what show you're going to put on? Is it you and a group of, the instructors, or do the kids have any input? Like, how do you get feedback for what you're going to do next time around?
That's a great question. We choose our titles really carefully, and it's really Kat Gabbery and I. She's really stepped into the role of like educational director type person the last couple of years, where she helps me to navigate what feels appropriate in terms of content for this age group, what is doable in that time frame, and then what's just a really good show.
Right.
Like what's exciting for kids to perform and what gives them an opportunity to grow and learn through the show title. There's some really cool stories out there. Yeah. So we're really picky about the titles, but that's how we do it.
Nice.
We sit down and we look at all the titles and we pull our hair out for a while, and then we land on some titles. Yeah.
Do you feel like is there a personality difference in the type of kid that signs up for the back side of the house versus the front?
Personality difference? That's such a good question. We have a performing student that is signed up to do our Shrek performing camp, but signed up to do the production side of our You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown camp.
Very cool, yeah.
So she talked to me all about it. She had done costume design before with me because she wasn't able to do the performance for the summer before. And she was like, you know what? I've done costume design. I want to learn production. Yeah. And so I don't know that it's a personality difference. I mean, there are a lot of students that are like, I'm all set with performing. I would never step out on stage, but I love to paint, or I love technology and I want to learn how to operate sound and lighting. So I think it's not so much a personality thing, because a lot of these kids are really vivacious and outgoing. It's just, where does their interest land?
Right.
And we really believe at Stowe Children's Theater that all of those interests are good.
Right.
All of that, like we can't put on a show without a costume design
Sure.
team. We can't put on a
Right.
show without good stage management and without good lighting and sound. And it really is a collective effort.
And for the most part, they have experience in theater before they come to you, or do you have some brand new kids coming in?
We have brand new kids every
That's
year.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, we have brand new kids every year, and they knock our socks off every time.
Yeah.
The actor who played Trunchbull in our Matilda camp last year had never
Wow.
been in a production before, and we watched this student with such awe and bravery and commitment. Like
Yeah.
she had never
It's a
stepped
great
on a
role, too.
yeah.
Yeah.
She was fantastic.
Yeah.
And so it's really fun for really great kind kids to explore these like villainous roles,
Right.
where they get a yell and
Yep.
be angry and yeah.
Very cool.
Do you have repeat visitors?
We absolutely do. This was our, so we haven't gotten back to that point where we have had to turn students
Yep.
away. We're still building our enrollment base again, but this year we did fill our Shrek camps
Wow. That's
pretty
awesome.
quickly.
Yeah.
By February we were full.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So is there the option, is there the possibility to expand, or is that just, given your size and scope, it'd be really difficult to do more?
I think for me as an artistic director, I'm always looking for ways to expand, and that may not include me directing every show,
Right.
because in a short amount of time, putting on 2 pretty full productions, because we don't want folks showing up to see our performances, and be like, oh well, I mean that's fine because it's after all it's just a 2-week camp. Like
Right.
we want people to understand, especially the students in our care, to understand that we don't care it's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing this whole hog.
Yeah.
And so that takes a lot of effort. So yes, expansion is absolutely on the forefront, so long as we can expand our creative team. It can't always be me.
Right.
So
Yeah.
And what type of feedback do you get? I mean, we talked about in the opening benefits for the children. So both my kids went to Rice, and one of the big takeaways as adults, they still think about stunt night. Like they loved, and they're not theatrical at all.
Yeah.
But the sense of, for 4 years, you're doing this, and to your point, it's all condensed. You're putting on 2 shows. You have no experience, but you're doing costumes. You're doing, and so it's a memory they always have, and they, it's a highlight for them. I mean, I'm assuming you get a lot of positive feedback from, your graduates, if you will, but people who, worked with you and went to your camps.
yeah, I would say we absolutely get great feedback. I share in that feedback because just as these kids, in my opinion, I think what we do really well with a carefully curated creative team is create a space where kids can be loud.
Yeah.
And they get to belong. Right?
Yep.
Like, performance be damned.
Yep.
We want kids to feel like when they show up, however they show up that day is exactly right. And that they can harness their abilities and hone this thing that they maybe have never tried before in a really safe space. Have you guys been on the stage before?
When I was very little, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember what that was like?
I was
little
little
bit.
too. I was in like elementary school and I was
Yeah.
in the 3 Billy Goats gruff. I was
Yeah.
one of the goats. So.
Were you? I had a key role in Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
It's one of my favorite shows of all time, actually.
It was one of the little kids, and you had to we had to open these doors and do these things.
Okay, what was that experience like for you?
It was fun. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Nice.
Were you nervous? Were you scared?
Of course. Yeah.
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 Of course, yeah. So it is scary.
Right.
Right? And the lighting person is performing at the same time the actor is.
Yeah.
Right? And live theater is really special in that if an actor misses their cue or they jump ahead a page, the lighting, the band, everybody has to jump ahead with that actor and
Yeah.
make it look seamless. And what's really magical about that is I love when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
That is my favorite thing because and I think that's why we get good feedback from our team and kids' experiences is because they know that we embrace their mistakes and we expect them to rise to it.
Yeah.
Live theater, if we were recording something, we could edit it
Right.
and change it and really polish it for them. And the polishing is on them.
Right.
We can lead them as strongly as
Yep.
we can with a really talented creative team. At the end of the day, they have to decide what their performance looks like.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it looking rough around the edges. If that's where they're at that day. I want them to feel completely supported by us, because you learn a lot from a really great performance. You learn a little bit more
Right.
from one that you
Right.
wish had gone differently.
Right.
And that is a really vulnerable place to be, right? When you know the lights are on and
Right.
that scene rests on your shoulders,
Yep.
and you're for the first time living lead life, and you got to drive this thing, like, when you mess up in that space, like, my expectation of our creative team is we meet those students on the other side of that with big open arms, and you
Yeah.
get amazing, and you keep going,
Right.
right? Because you can't take that
Yeah.
live experience back.
The timing of this is great, because I was at a party this weekend for a friend of mine, and I was talking to a woman there who actually is in theater background. And we're just having conversations about young kids, and maybe the kids at your camp might be a little too young of a demographic. But she was saying she recognizes that because of social media, a lot of kids now are afraid to do things because it will end up on TikTok or in Instagram and stuff like that. Are you seeing that maybe with drama kids? And again, it might be too old, so it's not something in their mind, where people are nervous to get on stage knowing someone has a phone, and it's just not going to be enclosed in this room. It's going to be
Right.
out in the universe. Have you noticed any changes amongst people in the 10 years that you've been?
You know, I really appreciate this question, because one of the reasons I was really excited to start programming that was live for students is that I've been watching as a parent this evolution of social media, the evolution of screen time, and just feeling just the weight of that and what that is to battle that as a parent. And also, you know, having my kids come home from a bus ride and be like, somebody put me on TikTok, and without their permission or consent. And this is just a world that kids cannot conceptualize. They
Right.
try with their you know, their young minds to be able to conceptualize what that feels like and looks like, but they are absolutely exposed.
Right.
And I don't know that I've seen an evolution. I can tell you that I'm not worried about the future based on the students that I've seen. They're incredibly bright and capable. So I'm not going to be the one saying, "Oh, the kids these days." Like, I'm actually like, hold on, step back,
Yep.
take a look. They're going to be fine. I think the onus is on us as adults to protect them from that influence.
Yep.
We don't allow videoing to be happening
That's
during our camp days.
Yep.
We don't build a culture where we would celebrate somebody's mistakes in a way that would be harmful to them the rest of their lives. We want them to come back.
Yeah.
And so we try really hard to create that environment where that's not cool, guys. We don't have time for that. And we're really busy, actually.
Right.
So yes, and I think it's really challenging for the kids to navigate that space. I don't see a reticence around it. If anything, I see what's appropriate happening developmentally. So I see like a lot of blinders on for
Yep.
elementary and middle school kids. They're not really
Right.
aware of that. Whereas high school kids,
Definitely.
they know the stakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they want to do a good job.
I want your.
And-
I wish if we had
Yeah.
TikTok with your performance.
I think my mom probably has a VHS of it somewhere.
Yes, VHS.
Yeah.
Take us back to VHS. Yes.
I think one of the things that we always like to do is our show has a lot of people that are interested in either businesses or maybe they're founding an organization. But when you kind of look back, hindsight 2020, what type of things would you have done differently to get this off the ground, maybe a little bit faster, or
You know what? I'm all about the journey.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would have changed anything.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of our organization. I'm really proud of what we've done. And I think I don't think I was ready to take on titles and buy rights for the shows and
Sure.
and do that kind of risky stuff in the early days. I think that's why I like sat in a really comfy zone. I'm really glad I went and got my education. If anything, I would have done that sooner.
Okay.
Because I think it offers a stronger foundation for my students to enjoy.
Yeah.
Learning about pedagogy and educational philosophy and all of that has been really, really helpful as I continue to instruct. And it helps me feel a little more confident instead of like, I started this in my basement. Anyone want to hang out? You know what I mean? Like, it makes me feel more prepared to offer really outstanding programming.
Nice.
You just brought up something that I guess I never even thought of. The legal aspect. I just was like, oh, you just put on a production. But do you have to get clearance to do any play? Or
Yeah, great question. So
I didn't even think of that until now.
Yes. So back in the day, there is an organization. There's several dramatic publishing companies. One of them is called Musical Theater and International. So I called them and said, "We're putting on a cabaret. We're singing these Broadway songs. What do I need to do?" And they're like, "Oh, is this educational theater?" I was like, "Yeah." They were like, "You're good. Pick the songs and just sing it. No one's gonna come after you."
Right.
And that's sort of true. You actually do, if you're going to be performing and certainly charging admission, you actually do need to get permission to sing a song that was written after 1929.
Yep.
You actually there's a lot more to it than I understood in those early days, and that really is just out of respect to the artists that create the work.
Yeah.
Right.
So there are legal ramifications to putting on a show without permission to do that.
Yeah. I just never
There,
thought of
there
that.
is absolutely. You can. In fact, it's there's a whole contract based on the title that you take on. So some titles, like Hello Dolly, that I directed a couple of years ago, was like you actually have to have a live band and you have to have these instruments in the band. Like they get really specific. Wow. Oh, and when you mention this title, all of this has to be along with it. So if you put Hello Dolly up, you also put with permission by Concord Theatricals, like alongside it. So yes, the dramatic publishing company wants credit, and you got to put it in the program. There's,
Nice. So long-term view, of crystal ball approach. We talked about challenges, but where do you see things going over the next, 5 years or so?
Great question. I think I see the possibilities as really endless, so long as I let go of the belief that I have to do it all.
Right.
So the long-term goal would be to bring on another director to handle some of these, some of the programs through the summer, and then to expand them into the fall. Like, what does that look like? And a real long-term goal and dream of mine is, as somebody who doesn't sing and dance but loves to act, is to offer more straight play programming for the kids like me who don't want to sing and dance but want to tell story and are really good. And they don't have anything like that. We hear a lot about musicals, and there just isn't enough straight plays out there, in my opinion.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. It's super cool. I always like talking to people that are like super passionate about it. And one of the things that you mentioned there is actually one of the tips that we get a lot when we ask people, what would you have done differently? A lot of times one of the first things most people say is brought on more supporting help sooner or faster.
100%.
So, yeah.
100%. Yeah. I think coming from Idaho and a really hardworking family background, I've carried for way too long this belief that I can do it all.
Yeah.
And it's just not my expertise to do everything.
Right.
It's just not. Then there aren't enough hours in the day, frankly.
Exactly.
Yeah, you guys know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Very good. Well, one of the things that we've started ending our shows with just kind of recently is, are there any guests that you think that we should have on our podcast that would just knock it out of the park?
Any guests that I think you need to have?
Yeah.
I would hire. I mean, of course, I'm going to sell my creative team, so I think every member of our creative team is worthy of hanging out with you and chatting about their creative endeavors. One that sticks out to me right now is Stephanie Wigand, She is our music director for You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
Okay.
And she also is the current director of music composition. So this human walks the
Okay.
walk.
Nice.
She's
Good to know.
incredibly
Yeah, yeah.
talented, and I frankly feel really lucky that she wants to work alongside me. She's extremely smart, and you might want to learn a little bit more about what
Of course.
what student composition looks like
Yeah,
in Vermont
yeah,
with
that's
Stephanie.
very cool.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't want to close the show without doing this. So, what do you have lined up for the summer programs? You touched on it a little bit, but
Sure.
just give us the whole spiel.
All right,
Yeah.
the whole meal deal.
Yeah.
We have Shrek Junior, so I'd love to invite you to come see that show.
Nice.
The performance camp is filled. We do still have room in our production side. So I would love for students or parents who are listening to this to think about their summer and think about July and think about a social justice musical, put to some incredible music.
Okay.
And we have room for kiddos who want to learn how to build sets, to paint sets, to learn about lighting and learn about sound and learn about what it takes to be part of a bigger team and goal and vision to tell this story.
Okay.
So we have room in that camp. The other camp I want to highlight a little bit in our conversation today is our You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown.
Yep.
That's a unique offering. After we did School of Rock with a handful of high schoolers last year, we realized that high schoolers need their own home at Stowe Children's Theater.
Sure.
And that's what we've given them with You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. It's an older musical, but it's a small musical.
Okay.
So it's smaller in scope. It's also smaller in our cast. So it's written for a maximum of 6 characters, but we'd like to have a total of 9 cast members join us. And we would offer the opportunity of a swing role. So they would learn a lead role, they'd also learn an ensemble role, and we would put it all together. So we've got room in our costume design for You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. If you're a fan of Peanuts and
sure.
those amazing
Who isn't?
iconic costumes,
That's right.
Schroeder and Linus and Lucy and
Yeah,
Charlie
yeah.
Brown,
Yep.
we welcome those students. And similarly, we welcome students in our stage management camp, kids that are, 5th grade to high school age who, I like to sell it like, if you like to boss people around, come to our stage management camp.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity for that. And again, it's high school focused, but our production camps aren't. So if you are in middle school and you want to boss high schoolers around, come hang out with us in our stage management camp.
Very nice.
Yeah.
If you want to be Lucy,
That's
it's
right.
a
Yeah,
camp
or
for you.
exactly. Or Linus or Schroeder.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely on the hunt for some more folks to join us in that and telling that story.
Great.
All right, very cool. Well, this has been another episode of Vermonters in Business. Molly, thank you so much for coming on the show. This
Thank
is
you.
super cool.
This
Appreciate
is
it.
so wonderful.
Great.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Yes.
All right, that's it.
Good work.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome.